Hi, I'm number one best-selling author Christian Michelson. So I grew up poor. I was on welfare as a kid. I wore, really rags and went to riches. I went from being on welfare as a kid, wearing hand-me-down clothes from my brothers who were 9 and 10 years older than I was. Not only was I wearing clothes that were beaten up, but I wore clothes that were totally out of style. I got teased a lot for it. Over the years, as I've grown up, I've turned myself into a multi-millionaire. And I want to share with you the secrets to my success. And most of it is inner game. I've found that over 90% of success is success on the inside, working on myself on the inside, and that creates the success on the outside. A lot of what I had to overcome from being poor was really my poor mindset. And it felt like all of my problems and all of my family's problems were because we just didn't have enough money. And so as a kid, I just felt like, boy, if I could figure out how to make money, then all of our problems will disappear. Now, as I've grown up and become an adult and have made a lot of money, I realize that making a lot of money doesn't make all your problems disappear. Before my parents divorced, they fought a lot. Money might not have solved those problems. In fact, most of the fights about money really weren't even about money. They were often just about, feeling secure, feeling valued, feeling listened to. So I know money doesn't solve all of our problems. But it is really nice to have more money. It does solve some problems, and the good news is that most millionaires are self-made millionaires. And I'm one of those self-made millionaires, and you could be one of them too. So I want to give you my best secrets on how to make more money, how to attract more money into your life. So the first thing I want to help you with is if you want more money, then set a big goal. Set a goal that is exciting, that it's inspiring. If you just thought, hey, I want to make 1% more money or get a 1% raise, that would be nice to get some more money, but it might be more inspiring to grow your income to $100,000 a year, or $250,000 a year, or $500,000 a year, or $1 million. Maybe set the goal to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire. Now here's the thing about setting big goals, that the bigger the goal is, the more excitement there is, right? The more exciting it is. It's like it's inspiring to to imagine being a millionaire. And I remember years ago someone said, you don't want to hope to become a millionaire or wish to become a millionaire. You need to decide to become a millionaire. And I remember hearing that, and I made the decision that day that I'm going to become a millionaire. And then I did. So a big goal will have a lot more energy and enthusiasm and excitement that can move you towards it. But it also can have some energy that moves you away, because you might feel like, well, let me show you this. So imagine this, right? Like, if, the bigger your goal is, let's just say this is $1 billion, right? And down here is like 1% more money than you make right now. Like, which of these is more exciting? Well, $1 billion is probably a lot more exciting than 1% more. But it may also be, so let's say here we have 10 million, 1 million, 100,000 a year, 250,000, 500,000, 750,000. Okay, so imagine as your goal goes up, right? The excitement about having it goes up as well. To maybe a certain extent where it just seems like so big and far away that it just doesn't seem even possible at all that it would ever happen. But also as the goals go up, so it gets more exciting, but at some point here, and I don't know where it is for you, everybody's different, but at some point, as the goal goes up, so does the increase in perceived the amount of work it's going to be. So as your goal, let's say your goal is $1 million, then you might be like, oh yeah, I'd love to have the $1 million, but oh man, it'd be so much work. So it feels like the work goes up, and then the likelihood that you can do it goes down, right? It's like, oh, 1 million or 10 million or whatever the number is. It's like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work, and it's not very possible that it's going to actually happen at all. So most people don't even set a big goal. Most people set pretty small goals. In fact, most people's goals are down in here. Most people's goals are not very big. So what I would recommend is setting bigger goals, setting higher goals, and let go, because this is all an illusion that it's going to be harder and less likely, right? I think that success is inevitable. So, whatever goals you set, if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to work on yourself, then the only mystery is time. As long as you stick with it, you never give up, you will have the success that you want. Even if it's, $1 million, maybe even 10 million, billion. I mean, who's to say that there's any limit to what you can do? I don't think there is. So if we get rid of this illusion that the amount of work or how hard the work is goes up, we want to get rid of that illusion, and that the likelihood of it happening goes down. And I don't get paid to smell. I don't get paid to smell or to sell or to spell or to speak, apparently. So likelihood goes down, the work goes up. So these things, the most important thing is that you get juiced about that this something is possible. Forget about this stuff, because we don't get paid for, you may get paid per hour, but even anybody that has a job where you get paid hourly, you're really getting paid for the results that you produce. And if you want to give yourself a raise, earn more money, or start your own business, the key to success is being able to create more value. If you want to get rich, enrich the lives of other people. If you have a job, you can find ways to add more value to the company you work for, and that's a way that they can pay you more. And then obviously, if you want to go really big, some of the best ways to do that is by having your own business. But the number one thing you want to do, secret number one, is set a big goal. Set a goal that gives you energy and inspires you, and let go of this fear of like, oh man, this is gonna be a lot of work. It's very unlikely to happen, and then maybe another one is that it'll take forever. If it would even happen, it would take forever. And that's not necessarily true either. Now, I thought I would be a millionaire. I set the goal to be a millionaire. I thought it would happen within a couple years, and it took me a lot more years than I thought it would. The great thing about it is if you start have a business that generates $1 million or $1 million a year in profit or more, then it's not a one-time thing that like, oh, you get to $1 million. It's like you could be getting $1 million regularly, consistently, and that is pretty exciting. So, and that's what I've created for myself, and that's what I want for you. If that's what you want for yourself, having more money, getting more money is very achievable. It's very possible. We live in a world of absolute abundance, and there's so much available to us. Let me share a couple other secrets of my success to you that you can do right away as well. So aside from the money, start thinking about what you want to do with the money. If you had $1 million, what would you do with it? What kind of car would you want to get? What kind of house might you want to get? Where would you want to live? What vacations might you want to go on? Make a list of all those things and get excited about it, because your energy and enthusiasm and excitement for those things that you want are what's going to drive you and help you manifest these things into your life. So if you're not clear, if you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I want this car, or oh my gosh, I want this house, or oh my gosh, I want to live in this place, then you're not going to be pulling the things that you want to you. It's that desire, it's that excitement for the things that you want, that flips a switch that starts telling the universe, we've got to start finding ways to bring these things into this person's life. Here's another secret that can bring more money into your life. One of the things that I used to do when we didn't have a ton of money is we would go to places that were really rich. So we'd go to like the best hotels in town, and we'd go out to dinner there. Or if we did go on vacation and maybe we're staying in some Airbnb or some rinky-dink rundown condo way off the main drag of where we want to be, then we would go and take a cab or just walk down to the hottest place in town, the hottest part on vacation. So we'd go to the nicest hotel and we'd hang out there. If we could, we'd hang out at the pool there, get coffee, get dinner, whatever we could do, and just really be in really opulent places. The more you spend time in really opulent places, the more you start training your brain that like, this is nice, this is what we deserve, this is what we want, this is what we're aiming for. You can also start thinking about like what kind of car you'd like to drive. What would be your dream car? And then not only get clear on what that is, but get a picture of it, put it up somewhere in your house, create a dream board or a vision board that has all the things that you want in your life. This is one of the things that I did many years ago, and I was able to accomplish everything and achieve and manifest everything that I had on my vision board. But don't just stop there, go test drive the car. And if they won't let you test drive it because maybe you're driving a beat up car right now and they're like, oh, there's no way he'll ever afford this, which I know what that feels like too. You can at least go look at the car, go look at it, check it out. Maybe they'll let you sit in it if they won't let you test drive it. This way you'll get the full experience of what it would be like to actually own the car, to drive the car, to have the car. You can also look through Dream Homes magazine and find pictures of houses that you like, or find some online, and just either make a vision board or start going to open houses. That's another thing I used to do all the time, is whenever there was an open house for a nice house in a nice neighborhood, we would go to it and walk through it and just like imagine living in a house this nice. As I mentioned, having grown up poor, I felt ashamed of being poor. I felt like I wasn't good enough. Somehow there was something wrong with me because I didn't have as much money, or we didn't have as nice of a house as other people. When I was in school, I remember this one time, this other kid got these brand new fruity smelling markers, and everybody wanted to be his best friend because they wanted to borrow his marker and smell his markers and use them. And I remember thinking, man, if we had money, then people would like me. And so all my life, I grew up feeling like, if I just had more money, then people would like me, and I'd be more successful, and people would think I wasn't something wrong with me, and I wouldn't have this secret shame that I didn't even know was driving me. And that's one of the secrets, is that sometimes the things that motivate us is the desire for the things we want, right? The desire for the car, for the money. But sometimes it's the running away from something we don't like, or that we don't want, which for me, I was running away from this shame that I was like this poor person and there was something wrong with me. So I was motivated by two things to want to have a lot more money in my life. And ironically, it wasn't until I discovered that this shame was driving me that I was able to let it go, that money started flowing into my life in oceans and avalanches of abundance. And I realized that the inner game of success is far more important than the outer game. The strategies, the how-to, those are important, but far more important is our psychology. And we all have these money blockers. There's these things inside of us that are pushing money away from us. Maybe we think that, having more money means you're greedy or selfish, or that you don't care about other people. Well, what I've found is that the people that I know that are wealthy, they do care about other people, and they've gotten their wealth. Most people who have become wealthy have gotten their wealth by enriching the lives of other people.